Even as a child, there was something in the young William Branham that identified with the life of an outdoorsman. This set him apart from the other children, though he loved the stories about the mighty Tarzan of the Apes. And I paused to look on the web and found Tarzan fighting a gorilla and Tarzan in combat with a lion, and all these various things showing the strength of the mighty outdoorsman. But even though he liked Tarzan and told stories about how he copied that, his special love was for the novels by Zane Grey. And Zane Grey was the one that focused on the life in the West. And here we have the Riders of the Purple Sage by Zane Grey, and the Man of the Forest by Zane Grey with the rifle over his shoulder, and the Lone Star Ranger about the Texas Ranger and his standing against the enemy. And then the heritage of the desert with the enemy, with the Indians out in the desert. And this no doubt had a tremendous effect on the young man. And the Southwest today is somewhat even wild, yet there's still cougars and lions out there. And then at the age of 12, with a borrowed pen and paper, this longing for the deep Southwest turned into a very prophetic poem.
I had a little poem I wrote, something like this. It said, now just think, I was only about 12 years old. And standing up there today looking up that canyon and thinking that lion will be sitting right here in this den room looking out the window, in the glass window. I was thinking of a little poem. I went back and picked it up, something like this. Just think how God, do you believe God's in all inspiration? God has to write a song. You believe God's in songs? Jesus said so. He referred back to David. Don't you know what David said in the Psalms, you know? Has not, look at the very crucifixion. David sang it in the 22nd Psalm. My God, why hast thou forsaken me? All my bones, they stare at me. They pierce my hands and my feet. You know, and that was a song. Psalms is a song. And in this poetry, just watch how it come to pass. Sitting there, a little old kid with a barred sheet of paper. I said, I am lonesome, oh so lonesome, far that far away Southwest, where the shadows fall the deepest over the mountain crest. I can see a lurking coyote all around the purple haze. I can hear a lobo hollering down where the longhorns graze. And somewhere up a canyon, I can hear a lion whine in that far-off Catalina Mountains at the Arizona line. 40 years later, I'm sitting right there at that canyon, that lion looking me in the face. Oh, God. There's a land beyond the river somewhere, friends. It's got to be there. See, there's too much speaking of it.